Hi everybody, this is Brooke Bacon. I just wanted to let you know that our webcast will be starting shortly. We are just going to give you a brief overview of GSI while you wait. So who is GSI? GSI is a full-service consulting and managed services organization with deep application and industry knowledge. This deep knowledge allows us to develop advanced AI and automation that delivers cutting-edge intelligence. This unmatched intelligence is what enables our clients to thrive and not just survive. So why partner with GSI? GSI is a full-service ERP, SaaS, cloud, ITSM, cybersecurity reseller, consulting, and managed services organization. We have industry, application, and technical certifications, and we not only understand the business system you are utilizing, but most importantly, the industry. Advanced AI and automation are used in all of our products and services to help our clients reduce TCO and increase ROI. We have offices nationwide and partners worldwide, which allows us to offer a 24/7 global support model. And we are the only partner you will find in the industry that has a 100% guarantee on everything we do. Here are a few of the awards and accreditations and certifications we have received. Our mission is to make every customer a client. To accomplish this mission, we create a culture that attracts and retains the most creative, energetic, and experienced professionals. Here are some of the products that we have developed to help our clients thrive. Genius AI is a platform designed to support the development and execution of customized modules for system monitoring, application monitoring, AI, and automation. Modules can be developed and executed for almost any business system. Our clients use Genesis Performance Optimizer to model, measure, and maximize system performance for all of their web-based business systems. Genome is our newest product that will detect, analyze, and automate the process of converting customizations into orchestrations. Rapid Reconciler is our tool that reconciles perpetual, in-transit, and received not vouchered inventory. Rapid Approval is an application for quickly processing workflow approval requests in Salesforce. And G Shield is a line of security products that we are continuing to expand. Currently, we have two products, JDE Password Reset and JDE Two-Factor Authentication. As you can see from these testimonials, our clients attest to the fact that we focus on the business value of their systems, not just the performance. This business value focus allows our clients to transform antiquated systems of record into market share expansion machines.
Welcome to the virtual integrity reports presentation. I titled this Relax, It's Just the Integrity Reports. Similar to how I did previous topics, the goal is to make it fun, make it light, turning a boring topic or a dry topic into something that would interest people. And about me, I started with JD World and then graduated to One World and that turned into Enterprise One for Oracle. And at least I have 5 full cycles of JD implementation on red, blue, and purple stack on Oracle, which is Oracle, IBM, and Microsoft stack. End-to-end management and support of JD Edwards from database all the way to the 1099 reporting. I have just recently completed and implemented a JD Enterprise One Oracle to ERP cloud application, which is pretty cool. It's currently on another project doing the same thing. Now I also speak at conferences and try to share experiences or stuff that I have gone through in JD Edwards and at the same time ERP applications for Oracle and other platforms. So we can sit here all day and talk about integrity reports, but I came up with 3 general goals to fit in this webcast session. First is the functional, the importance, and the deep dive discussion of general JDE, General Accounting Integrity Reports. Um, and again, we're going to focus on the financials, um, financial integrity reports. We'll talk about some of the non financials, but also but important as well. And then next objective is uh, technical, meaning we're not going to code, but uh, we're going to list define financial tables and analyze those tables related to the report or the reports that it produced. We'll also talk about um, the timing, automation, troubleshooting, and a little bit of uh, you know um, prevention and suggestion on how to resolve issues. Plus, at the end of it, I'm going to touch on introduction of UX1 or UDO features, just to keep up um, with the latest features and innovations in JD Edwards. So it's not rocket science. Plus, I would, I added a couple of slides to show you what Oracle is up to lately. And they are specifically on interactive integrities. Yes, interactive integrities programs that starts with a P and not with an R or reports. Okay, so um, from humble beginning, I have seen JDE evolve from a black um, and green screen, um, and that's one of the reasons why I'm wearing reading glasses. But it started from this really cool, stable application running on an IBM platform, and then JDE has gotten cool now, and then it started adopting to like terminal servers, Citrix, fat clients. If you're long enough or have been with JD Edwards for quite a while, you probably have seen Citrix, fat clients, server managers, and then eventually you know, it started the the Jazz evolution. It's just like the Jazz servers. So, and then seriously, JDE has gotten really cool. So, on this one particular slide, you'll see the further evolution of JD Edwards. Like mobility, Internet of Things, Cafe One, if you're on the latest tools release, UX1, UDOs, watch list, and things about citizen developers, etc. We at GSI have um, a lot of um, um, topics on it, and at the same time, you can visit our website to see a wide variety of talks and documentations with regards to all these new cool features in JD Edwards. Actually, it was new like 5 years ago. So um, the this particular feature has evolved. So it's if you have not been up to speed, I believe this would be a good time to start or at least get yourself more familiar with it. And this slide says it's still getting cooler. Continuous delivery, JDE beacons, virtual assistants, cloud containers. You'll see one of our lead technical guy, John Bassett, talk about um, you know features and new technical innovations. So E1 Orchestrator is something that we do as well on a monthly basis. We host workshops. It's free. Um, so this is something where you would be able to automate not just the running of jobs, but a lot of the um, uh, mundane kind of repetitive work that you do in JD Edwards is something that you can actually put on an automated feature or automated application like Oracle E1 or JDE E1 Orchestrator. So, the progression of JD Edwards from evolving from a traditional ERP where we keep our system of records into an autonomous ERP is well on its way. As you can see on this slide, Oracle has been pumping in a lot of resources on the E1 Orchestrator product too. So you see that we are slowly progressing from a traditional ERP into an ERP or intelligent ERP. Yep, but it's all cool and stuff. But at the end of the day, or the fiscal or calendar year, uh, you know, our debits has to equal our credits, and the balance sheet numbers has to balance. Um, One of my favorite um, or or movies is called, of course, Back to the Future, right? It's the Back to the Future series. Now, the main character, okay, or the main characters went back and forth and back again and back and forth again with one main component, and that's the DeLorean. And I'm symbolizing the integrity reports with the DeLorean because it is constant, or it is the constant, the high tech, low tech, advanced tech for JDE, regardless of tools release. As I've mentioned, okay, debits has to equal credits. So it means that if from the green screen they started the integrity reports, and it we are still using the same logic for uh, balancing out transactions and making sure we see and we monitor differences. So again, the movie was using, or has used the DeLorean as the vehicle to transport them from here to the future and back again, and then go way back into like where it all started in 1800s, etc. Same thing. I mean, the the integrity reports probably like 50 something odd years from now, if JDE is still around, would still be the integrity reports that we see right now. Okay, so debits must equal credits. That's the goal, right? I mean, regardless of what ERP application you use. So I can't emphasize enough the importance of having zero variance. All right. So again, we're going to talk about the importance and deep dive discussion of JD General Accounting Integrity Reports. We will dive into the financial tables. We'll talk about timing, automation, troubleshooting tips and tricks, and how to prevent and resolve integrity issues. All right. So this is what I call the Great Trilogy, because the big integrity report, or one of the more important integrity reports that I normally execute would be the GL integrities, because that's where we post the books, or we close the period, and that's what produce our you know financial statements, right? I mean, AP and AR, though they are the next best things, right? Because AP and AR are the at the heart of our receivables and payable process, meaning we manage our cash, and we take care of our debts from those two modules. Now, again, we're going to focus on the financial integrities, right? I mean, not discounting the other integrities, but this will be my great trilogy, similar to the movie, right? And we're going to talk about the keys of all these three modules, or integrity report categories. And this will help us understand beyond and be on the same page with JD Edwards as far as how they created the table relationship, or relationships between the three applications. So we'll start with the first module in the trilogy. And I classified GL integrities into two sets, the 00s and the 09s. All right. So here's the batch jobs. This should perfectly illustrate why I call this GL integrity set as a 00. The report starts with R, and then um, it's followed by 0 and 0, 0, 0, right? Like R007011 and R007032. They're the most common batch jobs from the foundation or 00 batch jobs. The unposted batches, the R007011 prints a list of all unposted or pending approval errors batch transactions in your system. You should print this report on a weekly basis or prior to period end procedures, and it will remind you on the timing on this later. I mean, I'll show you uh, where is best or when is best to run this thing, okay? And then the R007032 helps to locate batches in which the net amount of debits and credits for the F0911 transaction does not equal 0, right? So the batches out of balance report reviews the net amount of the F0911 general ledger transactions in each batch. And then if the net amount is not 0, it would calculate the net difference and prints the batch details for the difference on the report. All right, now here's the 09s. And the 09s, the key tables are the F0911, the F0901, the F0902. That's why I call this the 09s batch integrities. And then, of course, we have the other related tables that this particular group of batch integrities are using, specifically the business unit master, the batch control records, and the AAI master. And here are the GL batch integrities, for the 09s. And we're going to focus on the batch headers, all right? The company by batch out of balance report, R09706, it reviews only posted transactions in the F0911 table. This report totals or create a total of all posted transactions from the F0911 table by batch and compares each batch total to the batch header record in the F0011 table, which is the batch header table. It prints all batches that are out of balance and also includes the amount by which the batch is out of balance, the company numbers that have out of balance batches, and the portion of the total discrepancy for each company. Now, the R09705 assists in locating out of balance conditions in the system by identifying imbalances between the account balance F0902 and the account ledger F0911 tables on a period by period basis. Now, all transactions within each company balances should net to 0, right? So the R09701 uses information from the F0902 table to determine whether a company is in balance. Okay. Now, the other report, R0970111, actually, it's still the same report. It compares the balances among the company's various intercompany settlements. So my point there is, if you turn on the intercompany feature in your organization, you can use this R097011 as well. R097021, R097031, 7041. Just be careful when running them because they are all update UBEs. Try to use the proof mode feature first before you run it in final mode to see what's going to be affected in your system. Now, special mention on the R099102. The repost, okay, in final mode, okay, allows you to correct a damaged account balance, all right, on the F0902. So this is another update report. You should probably run this in final mode first, or hopefully you have like a good test environment to prove this out before you do it in your live environment. I have used this a lot. I chased, or I went after a huge amount of discrepancies using this particular integrity report, and was able to resolve it, um, you know, by um, reposting and making sure that the 911 and the 902 are in sync. Okay. And now let's talk about the AR integrities, which is the second application in our trilogy. So here are the key tables. All right. Um, Other than the account balance table, which is the F0902, the AR integrity reports have concentrated the process within the standard customer receipts and invoices table. So you will see all the F03Bs in this particular integrity reports, because they are the main component, or the main table source, or a data source for the AR integrity report batch jobs, which is all of this. Now the first one, the R03B701, and also the R03B707, are the most common integrity reports that are being used for AR. But I also listed the reports that mostly deal with confirming amount after updates or conversions. The one in the matrix, or the table below, are conversion integrity reports that you might want to consider running after you either upgraded, or apply a patch. Now the R03B707 is used to ensure that the total amount of open AR invoices in the customer ledger table is equal to the balance in the account balance table, which is the F0902. So it's F03B11 versus the F0902 for that one particular report, the R03B707. And then now let's go on to our AP integrity, third in the trilogy of applications. Um, unlike the AR integrity reports, the AP integrities uses information from the account ledger, or journal transactions, and the account balances. So it uses the F0911 and the F0902 on top of the F0411, F0414 AP ledger and matching documents table. Okay. For the reports, the R04701, okay, it this report is used to verify that the gross amount of each batch in the AP ledger F0411 matches or balance with the amounts in the corresponding F0911. Okay, so on this one particular report, it's F0411 versus F0911, right? And then the R04712, another favorite of mine, in proof mode, when you compare, it compares the payment amount in the AP matching document table F0414 to the total amount in the F0911, okay, for each batch. And then the batch is printed on the report if there are many differences, or if there are any differences between the payment amount and the in the F0414 and the F0911. So again, it for R04712, it's F0911 versus F0414. And then for the R04702A, this report verifies that each batch of payments in the AP F0414 is balanced or matching with the F0911. Okay, but and it also takes it looks at the F0413 as well. So for this one particular report, all right, it's the F0413, the F0414 versus the F0911 and the F0902. Okay, and then the rest of the reports below are update reports. For example, the R04713, R04711. Be careful when running them, because they alter data. They update the the AP tables. Um, so try to run it in proof mode first. Now the R04701001A is not an update report, but it checks AP ledger open accounts with the balances in the accounts payable AP accounts. Okay. All right. So let's quickly go through, how to automate, or what's the, best practices in automation setup and timing. We have the traditional scheduler batch setup, and of course, we can do like we can create, calculate, and automate via or using the E1 orchestrator. So, all right. So here are uh, the reports that are suggested to run daily. You know, we can we can actually run it weekly as well, but this would help uh, provide a daily monitor of what's going on, and how your day-to-day transactions are getting posted. So you can run it as often as you want to. I mean, you don't have to wait at the for the till the end of the day. You can run it manually as you wish, because this will depend on the size of your business. But these two are fine to run. I mean, it's okay to run daily, so you would know whether there are problem with your GL batches, not just GL batches, but all batches in general. And I suggest that we run this thing, or you run this thing during off hours. Now, what's the reason why we're, I guess what's the reason why reports, especially like integrity reports, has to run off hours? You know, from the tables that I've shown, you will notice that it goes through in key tables in the GL, the AP, and the AR applications, and you don't want the integrity reports to clash with the transactions that your business or your users are actually performing you know during the day. So it's best to run integrity reports, or big reports in general, during off hours. Okay. Now here's a big list for um, weekly suggestions. Weekly or less often, for these reports. Okay, because unlike the batch header check report, this one could probably wait, especially if you don't have someone to take a look at integrity issues on a daily basis. I mean, unless you want your job to be like the chief integrity reports officer or something, you probably should put it on a weekly schedule. But it's important that this is being monitored. I mean, and also you can run this on an ad hoc basis, meaning if, let's say, you need to see a company accounts in balance R09700101 um, report. Um, and you can't wait till the weekend. I mean, you can run it manually, or just one off, just to give you an idea on the issue, or on what's going on with that one particular uh, integrity. Right now, one thing that we probably need to take a look at, especially when closing a period, is to run the R099102. Use it on run it in proof mode, because that will tell you what if there are 911 records that does not match or balance with the 902 records. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you're closing a period. Now, again, all these reports should run during off hours. And as I've mentioned, unless you want this as a full-time job, set aside a time to go through integrities periodically. Probably like maybe like a Monday morning, where you're fresh and before all the grind of the week hits you. So start looking at this and start passing it on to people who probably own the transactions that were entered to the system. Okay. Um, Now you're probably going to notice that I did not, um, I did not uh, mention SQL corrections, right, for integrities. We'll talk about that after, when I list down the prevention and how to resolve integrity issues. But now let's talk about integrity plus or integrities plus. So what is Oracle up to? As I'd mentioned earlier, Oracle had actually developed or they um, leveled up on integrities. I mean, not to be uh, you know an old school kind of a batch application. Oracle had actually they came up with interactive integrities. So they reimagined the batch jobs. They said, okay, no more PDF, because normally when you run integrities, you base your uh, your analysis on a piece of paper that you can print or see on your screen. Now, what they say, what if, let's say, all these numbers or all those variances can now be shown interactively as as an application, not just as PDF, right? And also interactive integrities. You don't need to run a report to see it. There is no work files. It's on the spot. Meaning, you run the application and you see the numbers right in front of you. And then the goal is to reduce the period to closure or the closing period. Meaning, if you are waiting for integrity reports to come up so that you would see if there are issues, during the week or during the period. With interactive integrities, you can see it immediately, yeah, without having to wait for the reports. And here's a sample of the company's out of balance integrity report. So this is from the R097001. All right. And what they did was they turned it into an interactive app where you can see, the amount differences for each company that you ran. As you will notice that there is no update button on this one, because again, it's an integrity report, right? I mean, you use it to analyze, not to correct. Um, so again, what is Oracle up to? More on UX1 or UDOs, and UX1s, UDOs, they are part of the new, the latest JD Edwards, uh, you know, um, interactive features, right? And then once when the reports or the integrities are available, we'll notify or send an email to you. Okay. Now that's the subscription part. Again, showing this one particular screen. This would be again the available or the delivered notifications um, for the the 09s or the GL application or GL notifications list. All right. And then again, we're not going to deep dive or dive deep into that because it's a whole new big topic, and we conduct these workshops every period, specifically the E1 Orchestrator, where we can create, automate, and then interface, right? Here's a sample screen. If you haven't seen an E1 Orchestrator landing page, this is how it looks like. And I have to add this slide so that it's a whole because it's a whole new dimension in setting up and to automate the integrity reports. Meaning, in the past we only use the JDE scheduler, but because of the really cool and advanced capabilities of Orchestrator or E1 Orchestrator, we have another a really cool and great way to automate not just running the Orchestrator, but actually to to interface them and send them out or publish them out, not just internally, but to some external external requirements, right? So, and at the same time, if let's say if there are E1 Orchestrator available in your organization, you can use the features to connect it to other applications, and also like um, dynamically change the processing options, the data selections, period by period. All right, so going back to the troubleshooting tips that we're going to talk in the next couple of slides. I am not going to talk more on the UDOs and the UX1 troubleshooting, but we're going to focus on the UBE versions, or which is the um, you know the the batch jobs that you normally run on the scheduler, right? Or you run manually. One thing that we need um, to remember is that batch versions they can get corrupted. All right, so creating a new version is common, especially when you're having issues on a certain integrity report where you think all the values are correct, but it's still coming or still not in accordance to what you were expecting to see. So um, you know it's okay to recreate a version, and put it back on your scheduler. Now, the other thing is, when you're troubleshooting integrity issues, take a look at posting errors. There might be some errors that were not uh, captured and was not addressed, and that's the reason why it's in your integrity reports. And then find unposted batches. Go through the reports. There are, I mean, this JD Edwards would still have all the reports that you ran a month ago or 2 months ago, probably years ago, right? So that would tell you um, where those integrity issues come from. Because if let's say if it was a clean posting, um, you know, chances are it's not going to be showing, or it's not going to be in the integrity reports for, let's say, a batch posted integrity report, right? And then if let's say there are work center errors that were not addressed, it should still be there. Just take a look at make sure you match the dates on on in troubleshooting and checking those work center error messages. And then another key thing is work with the users, people who actually enter the transactions, and then find out what happened, right? Most likely you don't even need this to see to look at the reports or errors in the reports, um, just by talking to them, and then getting information on issues that they encountered, while processing the transactions. And then if let's say you really cannot figure out what's going on with the uh, within the report that you're seeing, and all the bullets that I mentioned, like posting errors, reports, work centers, request logs. I mean, logs are, although they might look, you know, overwhelming, but most often you will see what happened within the logs. It's in English. It's something that you know. Um, it's something where the program variables are actually shown, and most likely you would see errors, warnings, and some some clue as to what happened to a particular batch or a particular transaction. All right. Now, some troubleshooting resolutions, recovery suggestions. Um, Here's a list on how to recover or fix integrities. Again, this will vary based on the type and size of your business. This is not a complete list. Use this as a guide to resolve your issues. And again, I need to emphasize these are just for financial integrities, and it's in no particular order. Um, you know, Reset flags to repost out of balance. Create balancing entries, especially if you're, if you're like, let's say today is your period close, and you still cannot figure out what's going on with this one particular transaction that's worth $100. Create the balancing entries and then post it, and then take care of it in the next period. Reverse it, and then figure out what happened. You have at least another month to resolve stuff like that. And then you can do a controlled run of the annual report just to see what's going on. Delete or exclude records if allowed, and then repost. Reversing entries, change account types to allow posting. These are stuff that are, uh, uh, that might come from a brand new transaction, or probably a brand new staff or person who are not yet familiar with your system. So these are the recovery suggestions. Again, um, you can rerun integrity reports right after the corrections to make sure that the differences are addressed. And then, as I mentioned earlier, SQL or SQL corrections are something that, probably the last option that you should take. Why? Because unless you understand the table relationships, the parent-child relationships, and and all the fields that joins the tables, this would probably be an option that you should be very careful in executing, because you might fix an integrity here, but it can result to a downstream effect in some other tables or applications. So SQL corrections, it's a database backend fixes. I, you know, Personally, I have used it a lot, but it's should be the last option when you're fixing integrity issues. All right, so here's more on how to prevent or minimize integrity issues. Post all batches before running integrities. All right, verify posted transactions. Ensure the correct accounts are debited or credited. Um, and then based on transaction volume, run integrity reports often. Run integrity reports after business hours. I've been emphasizing that in the previous slides. And then determine which integrity reports to multi-thread or single thread, meaning there are integrity reports that can run at the same time, but there are also integrity reports that has to follow some other integrity reports to make sure that it won't clash um, in with while running. Okay, so to recap, all right, to recap, you know, things fail. Just keep that in mind. Things fail, you know, you know, and JD Edwards is no exceptions when it comes to failing. Um, and our technology has come to so far. But regardless, you know, of all the exciting features, you know, um, you know, our debits has to equal credits, right? So to recap again, we talked about the importance and the key general accounting integrity reports, which are my the ARGL and AP trilogy reports, or the Great Trilogy. We talked about tables or related tables that are important in the financial integrity reports. We also discussed timing, automation, some of the troubleshooting tips on how to resolve and prevent integrity issues. And of course, I will not uh, forget or not, uh, you know, um, I will not exclude the integrity or interactive integrities, because it's in there now, right? It's part of the JD Edwards integrity reports um, features, right? Now, for this interactive integrities, we will need ESUs to be applied. And then if you need UDOs and UX1s, you will need to have an AIS server as well. Come reach out to us, GSI, if you will need advice and help on how to, start your interactive integrities or UDO or UX1 features. There are steps to manage them and to implement them, into your system. So that should be the presentation, or the bulk of our um, webcast today, or webinar today, for In Focus. And JDE again is a constant application, but the integrity reports are the something that we can use. Even if you're using an older release, or the latest and greatest 9252 you know tools release. Thank you for joining, and hope you have a great day.